In today's live stream video, I'm going to have a Q&A with my guest. We'll discuss several topics affecting us as resellers, and we'll also open up the chat to questions. We'll share us tips and strategies to help make us more successful and profitable resellers. Every Wednesday, I have a live stream, and I usually interview another reseller and have them share their tips, tricks, and techniques to make us more knowledgeable and profitable resellers. If you are a reseller or interested in becoming a reseller, you are in the right place. Going to pop in the chat and say hello to a few people, guys, and we'll go from there, and then we'll pop right into the show. Appreciate you all being here. I want to thank Sharon, my moderator, for being here. Maggie, the thrift shop fashionita, is in the house. Maggie, good to see you, my friend. Always appreciate when you're in the chat. Always good to see you. So, like I said, today's guest, we have Randy. Randy's one of my moderators, and this time of year, it's a little crazy getting guests on, and Randy was kind enough to come on and extremely knowledgeable about reselling and running your own website. And Randy's just a wealth of knowledge, and he's always willing to help me out. I really appreciate that. I do have somebody booked for next Wednesday, so I'll mention that. I'll give you a little tease right now. I'll mention that later in the show. So let me bring on my guest. And this time I had him on, he described himself as the old bearded guy from Allentown, PA. So we'll see how he describes himself today. Hello, sir.
Hey, Adam. Well, I just thought of something else to describe myself. I figure I'm going to call myself the Internet Ignoramus.
Okay.
Because, as the Internet goes faster and faster forward, I just can't keep up with it. Things continually change. And, after a while, you just say, the heck with it. And I'm just going to jog along instead of this crazy, fast-paced, insane world of the World Wide Web.
WWW, right?
I mean, I'm not young enough to not remember working in things like Cobalt and DBase.
I did Fortran. I had no idea how I did it. I had some friends that helped me get through college. It's the only reason I got through the computer or whatever, the programming 101 or whatever it was called back in the day, because I couldn't figure it out.
And certainly reselling is becoming more and more difficult, more and more complex.
Yes.
And it could be a good thing. I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's just taking something that's easy and making it difficult.
We got a little bit of rattling going on. Is that your dryer that's making that noise, or is it?
No, that's my thumb.
Okay, it's better now. Okay, guess you weren't aware of that. All right. I know you sound like your wife was doing the washer. I was like, well, that's not too bad. I was like, what is that noise?
No, that's I'm twiddling my thumb.
All right, well, stop twiddling your thumb, Randy. All right, guys. So like I said, we're gonna have a little discussion. We'll discuss some things that are kind of pertinent to us as resellers. Randy and I discussed a few topics, and we're gonna vent a little bit. We'll try to keep it PG rated. And again, I want if possible, the chat to cooperate. And I'm gonna ask you guys too that are watching the replay. Maybe you can put comments in the comment section if the video loads, and ask you some questions about just general reselling questions. So we're gonna get into the topics, and let's start with the first one. We're going to talk about what platforms that you sell on, and what is your opinion with the pluses and minuses of each?
Well, I sell on eBay, and I like eBay overall. I think eBay's come a long way, but I think eBay is certainly more on the side of the buyer than the seller. And I think it's become more and more difficult. I think with almost any piece of software, they seem to get rid of the things that I like. And all of a sudden they're gone and they're basically not useful. I think it's really hard to go back and you found you made a mistake on a customer and you got to go back and find it, and you no longer can find it. It's like they're become super paranoid about the buyer's safety. but yet they'll give out my personal phone number.
Yeah, I had heard, and again, I tell you guys, I try to I don't get all wrapped up in Facebook because it's a time suck. I do try to monitor it a little bit, and there's been a lot of talks now that eBay is actually on some stores selling your total sales. It's showing your sales. It's like it's no in my mind. It's nobody's business how much sales are. If you want to put my feedback, okay, like percentage positive feedback. I understand that, but why should you be putting up what my sales are? I don't think that's correct.
I think they should advertise how much they made off of me. That number's a lot higher than my sales.
True, true.
I mean, Amazon's up to 35%.
Yeah, you and I were discussing that. That is insane. So I mean, what kind of margins do you have to at 35% in fees? What kind of margins? I mean, again, I don't know really Amazon that well. I mean, what kind of percentages you have to be at if you're it's costing you 35%? It costs the goods, etc. What's explain a little bit?
Oh, I think it's absolutely crazy. I mean, the things that are coming down the line are just, to me, absolutely stupid. Buyers no longer even have to return items they open up cases for. They just don't have to return them. Walmart now, you can return your returns to a Walmart store. You don't
That's
even
cool.
have to necessarily send them back, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But uh, it's a lot easier to return an item that a third party seller has sold than to return an item that you bought from Amazon as the seller.
Okay, can you get into detail a little bit of explain?
Yeah, let's say you have a bag of, I don't know, tinsel, Christmas tinsel
Okay,
for sale, and you described it as 8 foot long, and it was only 7.95 foot long. Well, they can return it to you,
right,
all right, and you have to take it back
right.
unless the seller wasn't you; it was Amazon. They don't have to take it back.
Oh, Amazon does that. If Amazon is because and that's the other thing too. I've heard complaints about Amazon is they kind of monitor to see what things are selling, and like with third party vendors, and then they decide, okay, we're just going to sell that, and we're going to knock out the vendors. That's
Yeah,
just common
yeah.
occurrence, right?
Well,
Well, they
it's
can't
their
sell everything, but
it's their playground,
yeah, they're saying it's
and
their playground and they're bored.
you
What do
know,
you
you
want to play in their court? You got to play by their rules, right?
you're playing in their sandbox, and if
Right.
they think you're cat crap, they'll cover you up. It's just a weird way of saying that. You know what? You're there, but you're not important.
Now, on the 35% fees, is that again? I don't really know Amazon that well. Do they fluctuate between categories? Or is that kind of like an average of 35%?
Yeah, they do fluctuate,
Okay, but say
depending.
somewhere between 25 and 35% ish, I guess. Does it sound about right?
No, it's getting closer to 35%
35 for
plus.
everything. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's amazing. So, what kind of like I said, what kind of margins do you have to have if you're paying 35% just in fees?
You have to buy cheap and sell high. Uh, that's just the way it is. And I think it's going to get worse. I remember the days when it was 5 cents to list an item on Amazon and 2 cents to list an item on eBay.
Chris was saying it was like 2 cents. It was like, and then another site was like 4 cents. So people were listing on eBay because it was like 2 cents an item cheaper to list it.
Yeah, and there weren't monthly fees, and there weren't
Right.
promoted listings, and
Hmm.
there
Pay per
weren't,
click and
tons of other things that,
yeah.
they're like buying European cars. It's not even a matter of the cost of what the car costs, it's how they nickel and dime you after that. We were talking about cars a while ago, and I
Hmm.
I did have 6 cars, and one of them was a Rolls Royce, and 3 of them were Mercedes. And just I mean, an oil filter for a Rolls Royce was $50. If you lost the ignition key to your car, that was $400.
And we're going back a ways. We're going back, what, 15, 20 years probably?
Oh yeah, we're going back to the 70s.
70s. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
like
mean,
50 years ago.
Rolls Royces have 2 umbrellas in their cars. Okay.
Wasn't aware of
So
that. Okay.
if you lose one of those umbrellas, you know how much an umbrella costs in a Rolls Royce?
$300
$7,000.
for an umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't need a Rolls Royce umbrella.
So, and they don't get a whole lot. The car gets a whole lot cheaper the older it gets, but the parts don't.
I'm gonna pull up Maggie's comment here, see what she has to say about Amazon. Says she's been selling Amazon since way back when I started an auction service. At one time, it was by far my biggest selling platform. Now it's a distant second eBay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I remember those days. Actually, way back then, they were trying to copy eBay, and they kind of failed at it and let it go. But then they started back up again and changed it quite a bit. What their future is going to be like, I really don't know. With Jeff Bezos gone, you know the old saying, "Without vision, the people perish."
Right.
And you know, it was very questionable when Steve Jobs was going to go that Apple was going to be able to survive.
Right. So Bezos isn't involved at all anymore with the running of Amazon.
I think Amazon is, you know, because it's as large as it is
Right.
right now, it's just a matter of continually trying to up the monetization of it.
Like I
And
said, I know the pharmacist, like you were saying, you get your prescriptions now from Amazon, right?
yeah,
So I know they're spinning off on all these different categories, like I said, prescription drugs and those type of things are just adding more and more platforms, so to speak, more in I guess categories is what the proper term.
well, yeah, and so did Sears. And where is
Yeah,
Sears
we're Sears
today?
now, right? You guys know I share some of my personal information. I listen to sports radio quite a bit. Look, I'm in the Philadelphia area, so that was one of the things they were talking about. I don't even know how they came up with this topic, but things that are no longer here anymore. And they brought up things like Sears and Strawbridge and Philadelphia, Strawbridge and Clothier and Geno's. Remember Geno's, the burger joint?
Oh yeah, I had a Gimbel's credit card.
Woolworths. Remember Woolworths, Five and Dime? They're bringing up all those different places. You had a Gimbel's credit card?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you were saying earlier about Amazon and returning things. You can return to Kohl's typically, Amazon products. I've done it several times.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon certainly has changed the world, and you know, they capitalized on a lot of the weaknesses. Uh, for instance, I remember shopping. Okay, if you shopped in Philadelphia in a Gennardi supermarket, okay, the guy who bagged your groceries also took the cart out to your car and help you load it.
Well, that's how they did it. They would check your order, pack your card, and then put it in your car for you.
Sure.
Wow.
And see, now if you go to a Gennardi's, you can go to the self-service lane and do it yourself. That's how far we've come.
Maggie remembers the jingles for Geno's. Everybody goes to Geno's because Geno's is the place to go. Maggie lives in the area where we live in, so yeah, that was a neat thing. You remember Corvettes back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that talk. I can sidetrack sometimes. I'll tell you guys, I'm ADD. I got to keep on track here.
Yeah, this is the old people's reminiscent hour.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you were saying the fees are about 35% on Amazon. eBay, you like the platform, but obviously there's issues and things need to be tweaked, and programming needs to be improved. And now you're very happy with your Walmart sales, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm averaging about $1,000 a day on Walmart, which isn't bad for only being on there a couple of months.
And you also said that they have fulfillment services, and you're also a part of that. You were like part of the early beta program,
Right. Yeah, and it's it's pretty good. I mean, they have some features that are uh I'll call them forward thinking. And there's some problems with their site. It's not
no one's perfect.
yeah, it's not perfect, but I think right now they're the best site out there that's trying to improve itself.
Okay. And they're taking feedback from the sellers as well, right?
Yeah, I think they, for me, the biggest downside is customer service all around the board. I mean, with everything. The hardest thing to find is the phone number to call for customer service.
Well, they're not
Okay,
the only one.
like if you want concierge, okay, you have to go to the seller help, click the button, and go all the way down to the bottom of the page and find the smallest link to get chat. And
Yeah,
don't
Beth was telling me about concierge because I mean I went to 2 eBay Opens. That was part of the package. You paid for the service and you got concierge service. And I called the concierge and I couldn't find it. It's just, but apparently if you were a part of concierge, you still had it. But
yeah,
I guess when you call in, they know you're a concierge customer.
I rarely call, and I never call in the weekend.
I know I have it listed as eBay customer. I don't know if you can see it, but it says eBay customer service now instead of concierge.
Yeah, never call in the weekend.
Right.
Okay, otherwise it's like regular customer service. It's just it's useless. I think all you get on the weekend are trainees.
Right.
So
now you said at one point you sold a Macquarie and you decided that wasn't really worth your efforts, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work for little pay.
Right. Right.
So I still have it.
Right.
I just don't sell on it. I can make better use of my time selling on primarily eBay and Walmart are the two sites.
So they're the external platforms you sell on, and then obviously you have your own website that you sell your product on.
Yeah, and I sell in there because in my neck of the woods I'm famous for some reason.
Chris must have heard us talking about it. He's in the chat. Good to see you, Chris.
So people know me in this area. So I kind of keep that. Although I gotta go and upgrade things. I mean, my prices were like $3 and $4 cheaper than they should be. So I'm really lax at keeping up with prices, which is a good deal if you shop on the site. Not necessarily.
Yeah, it's good for the customer, not so much more for the seller, right?
Yeah. I figure, well, I don't have to pay all those fees, so I don't have to be as concerned. But after a while, I look and I go, oh my God, I should start buying from myself. It's cheaper.
We're going to get a little bit into that. Okay, so we have Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler, joining us. We also have Crystal, Rosie's Closet, joining us. And I know Crystal posted earlier, I think it was either late last week, that it was very chilly in Vegas. It was 55 degrees here in the Cherry Hill area, South Jersey. So it was not bad at all. I was out raking leaves in a t-shirt and sweatpants. But yeah, and then I know somebody was on the three amigos earlier today, Joe, Dan, and Mike, and they were saying it was Steve, Pick and Roll. And I've had him. God, it's probably been a year and a half since I had Steve on my channel. Steve is disabled, and he does a tremendous job reselling, and it's just a tremendous drive and really neat guy. If you want to check out Steve's channel, it's called Pick and the letter N Roll. Really neat channel. Cool guy, but he was saying, oh yeah, he goes, it's wintertime here. It's 80 degrees in Florida. It's like, okay. So your main platforms then are eBay, Walmart, and like you said, you sell on your own website.
Yeah. I think overall those are, for me, the three best sites. For me, I mean, selling on Amazon is almost like politics. And
what do you mean by that?
Well, you got to kind of follow their rules, even though they don't have to follow them.
Okay.
And if you make a mistake, you get punished for it.
But if they make a mistake, they don't get punished.
Yeah.
I got you. That makes sense. Okay.
You got to
I
know.
forgot where you were going with that, but it makes sense.
It's almost like being married. You have to know the rules, but don't tell me what the rules are. Just let me figure it out.
I can't speak from experience on that. Well, I don't like following all the rules. I mean, I try to follow the rules, but it's like, what's going to happen when I get married? The rules are probably going to change, right?
Oh, they change all the time.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not psychic. I can't, read people's minds. I wish I could.
I mean, for me, I think the worst part about selling on eBay is item specifics. I think for the most part they're a waste of time because half of them are in my description anyway. But then I got to get down and change it. Like, what color is the remote? Who cares what color a remote is?
Aren't there pictures?
Yeah. Well, in case you're colorblind,
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. Or maybe you have an old one of those green screen computers
All right.
where it was only 2 shades of green. It wasn't even black and white. For anybody who's old enough to to have one of those. I mean, I remember when computer screens were no bigger than a 3x5 card.
Well, now smartphones do more than what the pen computer did. And how big was that? It took like I don't even know how large the room was that the computer was in, but a smartphone does more than what the original pen computer did. University of Pennsylvania computer did.
Now we're gonna have to like wear magnifying glasses to see the new, the Apple iWatch.
I'm not. And I know people love them. I'm not an iWatch person.
Of course, they have the glasses too.
Yes.
So now you can go and look at everything on your glasses, not watching where you're walking and walk off a cliff.
When we get a little bit into, and again, I know most of the resellers in here are on the basic platforms on eBay, Amazon, Macquarie, Poshmark, etc., Etsy. But you use some services as far as cross posting. What are you currently using on your Walmart and your other websites right now?
I use Shopify because
Shopify.
It kind of works. Although I've been entertaining Channel Advisor. Now you got to be a serious seller because Channel Advisor will cost you over $1,000 a month.
Right. So that wouldn't apply to 99.9% of the people that watch my show, but right.
No, you got to be a real serious seller, but it incorporates probably everything. So you don't have to have all these extra pieces out there.
Right.
And I think there's some value in it because, I did a study and I kind of shared that with you on the difference between using a printer, a regular laser printer,
right,
and using a zebra printer. And let me get this little chart that I made so that I can read it. It's not big enough for you to read.
Okay.
But I have an HP laser printer, and on an HP laser printer, in 5 hours, I can do 160 orders. That's considering that I have to cut the label and tape it on the the thing, and it looks like shit.
Time is money.
And then I have a regular Zebra. I don't know. I have a couple of models, but let's say the 450 or the 500.
Right.
I can do a total in that same time frame of 5 hours, 1 hour a day.
Mm-hmm.
I can do 1,600 orders.
So basically 12 times the amount.
Right. But I also have a Zebra high-speed printer. And in that same time, I can do 11,000 orders in 5 hours.
Well, yeah, well that's for somebody with a business like you that's putting out 300-400 orders a day.
Now, if you figure that you're paying somebody an average of $15 an hour, which is about the going rate, in all honesty.
Right, and that's the other thing you told me. Like when you're printing out labels, your staff is waiting around for you to print those labels out, so they, I guess, basically they can go pick the orders, right?
Right. So really the cheapest way to go is the Zebra high-speed printer.
But that's if you're going to do that super high volume.
Right.
It'd be crazy for someone selling 8, 10, 12 items a day to have something that's going to do that kind of volume.
Yeah. But the
Regular
Zebra
Zebra thermal printers, like they said, guys, we had mentioned before, and you will get into that a little bit later about the Rainy is selling thermal printers to give you guys a little bit of discount over and above the typical eBay price. But anyway, I'm finished. Sorry, I'm sorry.
To buy a regular Zebra printer, you can't afford not to buy one. Just by the fact that, you're looking at the difference between 150 and 1,600 orders in that same amount of time.
This is a great point too that Lisa brought up, and I think the same thing, Lisa. Thermal labels look very professional. Makes you seem like you're a professional business. Remember we talked about the stores. Remember, Randy, when you had you on before, and you were showing this store looks professional, this store doesn't look professional. So you want your eBay store to look professional, your Poshmark store to look professional. I agree with Lisa. If you use thermal labels, it looks like you're a professional business, as opposed to taping things up and labels on crooked, and that's another story.
Yeah.
And the time it saves you is incredible. I'm out here with the tape. I got my tape gun. I had to go out and buy another tape gun. I couldn't find my other tape gun. But you're out there and you're packing and you're this and you're tearing and that it doesn't look right, and just go with the thermal. That's great for sealing boxes, but as far as putting a label, I just go with the thermal.
Yeah, it's just really, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of quality, your presentation.
Right.
It's a whole world.
And like when you look professional, and people feel like they're a value customer. Like, and that's the other thing I was going to bring up too later in the chat about recycling boxes, and I always in a quandary over if I should do that or not. Like, sometimes I'll put like eBay like tape over something to cover it up, and obviously, guys, when you ship something out from another box, you got to cover up all the identifications, all the numbers, everything, so that it doesn't screw up the post office. So that's the other issue too, is when you use recycled boxes, you Sharpie it out or cover it with a piece of tape or something, and it doesn't really look professional in my opinion.
I save an awful lot of money, and I save an awful lot of time by pre-packing things in what they're going to go in. Like if I sell jeans, okay, they're already in a padded flat rate envelope, and then all I have to do is stick the label on and ship it out. So I'm not really paying for packaging. I'm already using what's given to me free. If I sell jackets, I already know that they're going to go in an A box.
Right.
Okay, so why bother with anything else? I just stack the A boxes up with the jackets in them and put numbers on them, so I know what's in them. And
that's the plus.
It's completed.
Yeah, if you can pre-package, that's great too. It saves a lot of time. It's like you do your load. Obviously, you got to have the box out. You got to measure it and then put it into the box and weigh and everything. So if they just pack it up and label it, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, it takes an awful lot less time.
Yep, absolutely.
As long as you're thorough in listing it and showing any flaws that it has, you're pretty well covered.
Right. Okay, so your opinion of Shopify then, and I guess where would we have to be? And again, I'm not a large seller at this point. So where would you consider you'd have to be in order to consider something like Shopify?
I think you have to sell in 2 good sites, maybe 3.
Okay.
Figure out if you sell on 3 good sites, that's $10 a month You're not going to be able to pay somebody $10 a month to do all the work that can get done on Shopify. Okay, I mean, you put an item in, and you have 3 of them. It's going to spread across the 3 sites, and when you sell 3 of them, it's gone on all the sites.
I want to ask you about that too, because I came, and unfortunately, I guess Mike Flipping Goodies is in the chat. I guess he's busy at the store tonight. But we had talked a little bit about Shopify and mentioned it when he was here. So it's $30 a month for the, I guess, the basic package, and does that pretty much include everything? How do they
Yeah,
determine
it really
the fees
does.
involved?
I use the $30 a month package,
Oh, you're
and
using the $30 a month. Okay.
yeah, it works.
And how often does it ping the other websites to see if an item has been sold? Does it pull it down? How does that work?
Yeah, it must do it pretty fast. I mean, I don't really monitor all that much, but I've been fairly happy with it. It's not too much of a learning curve, a little bit, but everything is.
Right. Now, what about like the basic e-commerce sites? What, I mean, off the top of your head, I mean, it does eBay, right?
Yeah, it does eBay, it does Walmart,
Amazon,
yeah, I think it does Amazon.
Etsy, Poshmark.
I know it does Etsy.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it does Poshmark
Poshmark
or
or not?
not.
Okay.
Only because I really don't check beyond what I'm doing.
But it does Walmart, Amazon, and eBay,
Yeah,
and
and I mean,
Etsy.
most of these guys are taking on more and more sites
Right.
all the time. But it also integrates with ShipStation.
And Shippo. That's another topic we want to get into a little bit about shipping, guys. We wanted to talk about shipping and what's going on with the USPS. So we're just going to vent a little bit. So we're
Yeah,
all one happy reselling family. So we're going to vent a little bit.
I mean, I use stamps.com for probably, I don't know, 15 or 20 years.
Okay.
And stamps.com also owns ShipStation, and they own Endicia and about a half dozen other sites. So they're fairly large. And it's weird because not everything that works on one site works on the other, even though they own each other.
Okay. So, I mean,
So, ShipStation has its glitches, just like any other thing, and customer service there is not as good as it could be. And you got to get to a certain level to get certain areas of customer service.
okay.
So I'm already at those levels, but I don't think it's that great even to be at those levels. As far
You and
as,
I were talking about Shippo earlier.
yeah,
Once you explain Shippo a little bit, and you said back in the day you had to be referred by the post office to get
back
a
in
quote
back in the
unquote free
day,
account.
Shippo was a paid service,
Okay.
and then if you had a postal rep that would refer you, then it was free for a year.
Okay.
Now it's free for everybody.
And what services do they use? What carriers do they use at Shippo?
I mean, they use all the carriers, and you can make your own deals with like FedEx or UPS, and they will integrate those deals in your service with them.
Okay, so it'll modify it based on your rate, so to speak.
Right.
Oh, that's
So
interesting. I wasn't aware of that.
I don't know where they lie with integrating it with the post office,
Okay.
because the post office, once you get to a certain level, they'll actually come in and set up their own software, and
Okay.
you
So they do
use
it.
their software, and then they bill you once a month,
Okay.
and you go on a contract basis, which renews every 3 years. It doesn't renew every year.
Okay.
But the average person isn't going to get there. You have to do
Yeah. You'd have to have a pretty large company. Yeah.
you have to do. I would say venture to say at least $500,000 a year.
So how does Shippo work as far as rates? Like I talk about, I frequently use Pirate Ship because I get commercial rates plus from item one on for USPS,
Right.
and the discount they just added UPS a month or so ago, and I believe it's either 40% off. I should remember this. Either 40% or 50% off. I think it's 40% off. So I mean, as a small seller, I get 40% off at UPS as well. So to me, that's a no brainer, at least for me,
And,
for a small
and
seller.
I think it's a pretty decent deal, and I think across all the mail platforms, you're going to see that happen.
Okay,
Not
I guess
just
eventually
on,
they'll probably add FedEx too. I would assume.
yeah. I mean, some of them may have uh, better access to, like let's say UPS, and another one will,
Hmm.
but then the other one will have better access to FedEx or
Gotcha.
TNT or DHL.
Right.
You know,
I was even aware. I
or
don't even aware of TNT. What is TNT?
uh, TNT is a worldwide service. It's very
Okay.
much like UPS. Like
Okay, but it's worldwide.
uh,
Okay.
I
I
sometimes
know DHL is worldwide.
I'll give you an example. I needed a part that I couldn't buy in this country, so I bought it from Turkey at 11 o'clock at night, and it was at my warehouse by 11 o'clock in the morning from TNT.
Well, obviously they must have a warehouse here somewhere in the States. I mean, you didn't get it 12 hours, right, from
No,
Turkey.
no, yeah, it came
From
direct from
Turkey in 12 hours?
yeah, came direct from Istanbul.
In 12 hours.
Yep,
Wow, that's amazing.
I know it was.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Ever since then, I became a big fan because
Right.
when I used a Turkish roaster to roast Turkish style coffee,
Okay.
and they used Honeywell parts, but Honeywell parts in Turkey are not the same as Honeywell parts in the United States.
You said you had an issue, I remember, yeah.
And I mean, I actually had somebody from NASA on the phone,
From
and
NASA?
that's, yeah,
Okay.
I needed this part pretty bad.
Okay.
And they said, no, you have to get that part from the Middle East. You can't buy that. It's not the same as the part here. It will not work for you.
But then you
And
said it
that's,
didn't work though when you got it, right?
well, the part from Istanbul worked.
Oh, it did work. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
so you
worked
got a part
fine.
from the United States that didn't work. Is that what it was?
Right,
Okay.
right. So, uh, European electronics are a lot different
Okay.
than American electrics. They run on, like, for instance, motors there run on 50 cycles. Here they run on 60 cycles.
Right.
So there is a difference.
I know they have
And
different current. I mean, we have 110. I don't know what do they have in Europe,
I forget the whole
right?
thing,
But
but
it was different. Yeah.
even the colors of the wires are different.
Right.
I mean, we're used to black, white, and green. Green
Right.
is ground.
Right.
In Europe, green is yellow with a green stripe.
Okay.
So, and their colors are like orange and brown, and it's it's a whole crazy thing. I got used to it from installing espresso machines,
Okay.
and I used to do all the repair work and installation for a company called Brasilia in Italy. Because back in the 80s, hardly anybody knew what an espresso machine was, let alone how to work on it.
Now you have the home ones, the home espresso machines, and Nespresso, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, they're a lot different, but
Right.
yeah.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Okay. Let me just check. We have written a few other things we want to talk about. How about and again with the Shippo, you said again they changed the rules now, so you as a small time seller you can apply for a subscription
yeah,
service with them.
you can
And just
open an account.
open an account. Okay.
I found them really easy to work with.
Okay, good. I just wanted to bring that back together and tie that up. Okay. One of the things I want to bring up was again, this is the issue I had, and then we'll get a little bit into you can vent a little bit about your situation with the post office. You're going to keep it PG rated though. Well, one thing I want to bring up with you guys, and again, I would like the chat to comment as well, and anybody watching the replay, comment in the comment section once the video loads. Again, I've been reselling probably for a little over 4 years now, and I'm always in this quandary. It's the old quandary, like, do you offer free shipping or you don't offer free shipping? Do you offer best offer or you don't offer best offer? Do you run sales or not run sales? Seems to be the consensus that pretty much everybody does some sort of promoted listings with eBay. And I had an issue come up, and it's come up several times over the last few weeks. I have a new baseball cap that I've been selling, and again, I wonder your guys' opinion as far as listing prices and selling prices and free shipping or not. I was always under the opinion, I want to set a price. I want to be competitive with everybody else. I don't want to be near the bottom or maybe slightly higher than the bottom, including shipping. So sometimes I'll offer free shipping. Sometimes I won't offer free shipping. And I'm a fan of, fixed rate shipping. So I tell you people, back in the day, they had the TV show Beverly Hills 90210. So I know if I'm shipping from New Jersey to Hollywood, California, that's the longest distance because I only ship in the continental United States. So I'll punch that in and I'll come up with whatever that rate is, and that'll be my flat rate. But I was at the point now where I said, well, I'm going to put some best offers in. I'm going to be competitive, but I only can go down, maybe $2, $3. I don't want to be $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 higher than everybody else and have best offer. So I was telling Randy, and he and I were commiserating a little bit. I keep getting these low ball best offers, and I was like, and then some of these people are sellers. So I'm selling something, and I got to the point where I got a little aggravated. And I probably shouldn't have done what I did, but I usually I just comment. I said, "Oh, unfortunately, I can't accept your offer because between my costs, yada yada yada, I wouldn't be able to make a decent amount of money on that." So I told this guy, I said, "I have to purchase the price product. I'm paying for shipping. I'm paying eBay fees. If I sold it to you for what you wanted, I'd be losing money." So. And then what I wasn't aware of, and again, this, I use these sayings because I used to work retail and, wholesale, and you pick up different, sayings from the various nationalities, but stunad means stupid in Italian. So I wasn't aware that you couldn't adjust the listing if you had an offer out. So in other words, this person lowballed me, and I got annoyed, and I countered only $1 off. And the person never responded. Usually when you respond like that, they say, "Oh, forget him. I'm not going to buy from him." And they respond back. Well, it's been over a day now. This person hasn't responded. I believe it's 48 hours that I can't adjust that listing. I can adjust the description, but I can't adjust the price. I can't adjust the, best offer or not, or I can't. I don't think I can run a sale on or anything like that. So now I'm like stuck in this limbo. I want to pull off the best offer on the item because I'm annoyed that this guy is doing this, and other people have done it too. People are offering me on a $24 item, they're offering me $7, $8, $9 off on a $24 item, and I'm offering free shipping. It's like, come on, people, what do you think? I pay nothing for this item? So I'm just curious what your philosophies are, guys. You try to price it up a little bit higher, like $5, $6, $7, and have that leeway to take a best offer, or you just disregard best offers? I'm just curious, people in the chat and people again watching the replay, what's your opinion as far as pricing? It drives me crazy. But what's Lisa saying? Let's see here. Just got an offer an item, looked at the offer right away before I could respond. They bought it full price. Okay, you're getting ready to offer slightly yes. Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking, Lisa. I'm thinking like, I don't mind taking $2, $3, $4 off. I just figure I'm really close to where I shouldn't even put a best offer. But it's the old saying, Cassini, the eBay algorithm likes, best offers. They like free shipping, and they like promoted listing, yada yada yada. I think at this point I'm just gonna pull off the best offers because I'm at, and then some people are a couple of hours cheaper. But again, a lot of people are so used to Amazon with the free shipping. So I included free shipping. It's like, oh, well, a lot of people like free shipping, so I'll include it. But we all know there's no such thing as free shipping. And again, when you pay for shipping, you're also paying a final value fee on that shipping. So my shipping on average is $5-ish, $6-ish now with the price increase, because I got to assume that it's going the furthest distance. So it's going to be roughly $6 after fees. So I was telling this guy, it's like, I'm losing money on the item. So I'm just curious what you people do as far as that. And I want to say hello to Stephanie. Thank you for joining us, Stephanie. I appreciate you hopping in, guys. And if you're looking for, I know there's quite a bit of YouTube auctions out there, but Stephanie, Thrifting Adventures, has a YouTube auction, and she sells a lot of clothing and different things. So if you guys are looking for maybe you're not familiar with Stephanie's channel, and Stephanie was on my show, I guess probably about a year or so ago. So if you're interested in checking out another YouTube auction, check out Stephanie. So Stephanie's saying, yeah, I know what you mean. What does Maggie do? Says you mark up 20% over what I would with the cover offers. Okay. Tommy Bernard says, put an order decline on an item so you don't lose headspace. Don't believe the algorithm hype. They are clueless. I don't use best offer and have 90% sell-through rate. Tommy, I used to do that, and again, I guess I'm buying into like the hype. They used to say, well, you always want to counter. I used to have like order decline. I used to set like parameters and say, whatever it was, I would, like I said, mark it up like Maggie was saying, 20% higher. And then I would have a floor, and I wouldn't negotiate back and forth, and I would have auto accept and auto reject. But Tommy's right. You don't want to let these people get in your head. So
I have people continually ask me, what's the best you can do on this? And I usually tell them, well, the best I could do, I could probably get twice as much as I'm asking.
I could charge you double. Absolutely, right? So anyway, so I guess that's the theme. And maybe Tommy, if I do best offer, I just got to go back to the auto decline. I have the time to respond to offers. It's not a big deal. It's just that, like you're saying, it's getting in my headspace. It's like, dude, why are you offering me a third off? I mean, everybody's entitled to make a living, I don't know why I do it. All of a sudden I'm duding everybody all of a sudden. I don't know what it is, but anyway. So
I would say try a couple of different things and see which one works for you.
Well, that's the other thing too. So, some people said try free shipping, and other thing, maybe not have free shipping, or have best offer, not have best offer. Like I said, do an experiment.
I mean, I'll tell you from experience, I have two customers in the same market, and I sell both of them the same thing. And I continually have people who tell me that they like the stuff at the one place better than the other place. And I know that both of those things, not only aren't they not anything different, but they were made in the same drums. They came out of the same batch. So
Okay.
they can't be
So they're
anything
basically
different.
identical, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Basically identical. Well, did you want to vent a little bit? But again, try to keep it G to PG rated about your issues with the U.S. Post Office. I'm sure we all. Again, I want Randy to share a little bit, because I'm sure quite a few of us had these same issues. But again, Randy is doing, might be doing 20, 30 times our volume, because your typical day is what, 300 to 400 items you ship out a day.
Yeah. It takes me about 5 hours to print invoices.
Just to print invoices, right?
And like I said, I have a high-speed printer. So it's but you know what? You got to keep a sense of humor. I mean, I can't tell you and keep it PG the emails that I get from people, and
Well,
what
you
they
got 9 emails from this particular person.
Yeah, I got 9 emails from one person.
And she basically flipped you off in one of them. We'll keep that kind of PG-ish. We'll say flipped you off.
Yeah, let's just say it that way.
Right.
Anything you can imagine is
And
probably
said you were what kind of a seller did she call you?
Oh, I was
A
unscrupulous.
scrupulous seller.
Yeah, she used every word from the 50s.
9
like
emails, guys. They sent Randy 9 emails, and it was over 1 bag of coffee, correct? Or 2 bags of coffee?
And 9 emails in one day.
In one day. I can tell me that.
In
9
one
emails
day.
in one day.
And
it wasn't your fault. It was the U.S. Post Office fault.
Yeah, see, nobody thinks the post office lies.
Nobody blames the post office. No, it's always the seller.
She said, well, I don't think you took the package to the post office. You're an unmitigated liar.
You're an unmitigated liar. Okay.
And
you're an unscrupulous seller.
I said, you're right that I didn't take it to the post office because they come and pick up. I don't go to the post office
Right.
as much as the average seller does. They fill a truck up and they pick it up every day.
Yeah, I
But
might have gotten in a back and forth and said, I ship 400 packages a day.
you know, and there are times when they have to send 2 trucks to pick
Yes.
up my mail, especially if there's like Thanksgiving, when I give my employees off on Friday as well as Thursday,
Right.
and the whole weekend they have off. So come
You
Monday
don't need shipping
morning,
for 4 days. Yeah.
they need more than 1 truck to pick up our mail.
Okay.
Because and that's only because we do shipping with FedEx and UPS and have trucking companies come in to pick up our mail as well. So, I mean, you have to keep a sense of humor, otherwise you could really get offended and blow your whole day.
Yeah.
But
Yes. I take things personally. I shouldn't, but you're right.
I mean, I there's no way that I can keep it clean and tell you what she said to me.
Well, I think I kind of kept it PG.
Yeah,
I cleaned it up. I'm used to doing that.
but I will say this. I think the post office has gotten better this year than they were last year. Now, that's not saying much
Not
because
saying much, but I guess
my
every little
post
bit helps.
office last year during the holidays lost and delivered late over 650 million packages.
1,000,000,000, 650
And
million packages.
and that's from the postal report itself.
Right.
That's not from an outside source.
Yep.
That's from an inside source. The Inspector General report of the post office. It's 35 pages long, and I have a copy of it.
Okay. Well, I didn't let you vent too much. So I was afraid you're going to go off the tracks, but off the rails, so to speak. But
It was not easy to keep this calm,
okay.
but
I'm sorry. Good.
it's fun. Believe me, it's hilarious. It's, I get things from people screaming that they ordered a half pound and only got 8 ounces, to telling me to go places that are fairly hot.
Or they'll buy candy and say how terrible the candy is and eat 3/4 of it and send 1/4 back. Right.
Yeah,
It's so terrible. Why'd you eat 3/4 of it?
we got one today where they covered up with their hand who they got the product from. They tried to tell us that they got the damaged product from us.
That was someone else.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
the packaging was different than what we use.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I had a couple more things down, and we're approaching the magical 1 hour, and you guys know I try to keep it around an hour. Why don't you mention your thermal printers, the promotion you're running, and then we'll cover a couple more topics, and I'll wrap things up.
Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of thermal printers, some that run with I forget what black wax is basically what it is, and some that run with both the thermal and they actually use both of them. I have some that cut. They're a little bit more professional models than the ones that you get that are like the UPS and the FedEx ones that you get for free. And they, some of them have higher resolution, like 300 DPI. Some of them have lower resolution, like 210. The ones with lower resolution run faster. The ones with higher resolution just look nicer on the label. It depends what you want, but they're 150 bucks for anybody in this channel. I probably have about 6 or 8 of them left.
Okay, so you
Uh,
have been selling good.
yeah, and I mean, I have some that are completely portable that you would use if you were going to do printing in your car
Right.
uh, or your truck. Most of the ones that somebody who would watch this channel would want is a little desktop model.
Oh yeah, you're going to want to be able to plug it into the power source. Yeah.
But
So they're like $30-$40 cheaper than if you were to purchase it the same thing on eBay.
if you were going to purchase on eBay, you'd pay a good $300
Oh, okay.
because the ones on eBay are not the same models. They're a little smaller. It's not that they're not good; they are good. Pretty much, these things all run like tanks, and
Okay.
they run for
So
a long
these are more
time.
commercial grade, I guess, is what you would say.
Yeah, yeah, they're a little bit more professional. Not, they're.
Okay.
It's kind of like having an S class and an E class Mercedes.
I never had a Mercedes, so you're
Okay, so
right
you're
over
just gonna
top of my head.
you're just gonna pay a lot more for one than the other.
Gotcha. But these are basically commercial grade thermal printers, and you're saying at least $100 off typical retail e-commerce
Yeah,
prices.
I mean the retail price on these are $800.
Right. Wow. Okay. No. Okay.
So I mean you can buy them new for $800.
Right. Okay. Okay, and the other thing, I wanted a couple quick questions for you is to just if you have any kind of like last kind of tips and tricks. Do you have any listing tips such as using templates, anything special? Or I know you talk about periodically adjusting your pricing. I know you go in and change pictures. I want you to touch
Yeah,
down a little bit about that.
well, I upgrade my pictures quite a bit. When I learn new techniques, when I
Right.
get a better camera, when I want my things to look a little bit more uniform,
Right.
uh, you know, sometimes I'll upgrade or, you know, lower or raise my price only by a penny or two
Okay.
because it's going to shoot out an email if I lower my prices by 1 cent as much as if I lower it by $1.
So
So,
the buyers get if they already clicked on your item, they looked at it, they're going to get an email that you just lowered your price.
right. And I mean, if you look at 1,000 things a day, do you really remember what the old price was?
No, no.
So you don't. It just keeps your site active.
Okay, well that's a good tip. And the other thing I wanted to ask you was, and again, I don't even know. I'm just throwing it out there. Are there any kind of websites or apps that you use for reselling that we may not be aware of? I know you said Channel Advisor, which really wouldn't apply to 99% of us, but
Yeah, Channel Advisor is rather expensive.
right,
I think Shopify is a decent value for what you're getting.
gotcha.
Uh, I like I guess it's Photo Room only
Yes,
because it saves me an awful lot of time. And I don't really need highly professional lighting uh, to
and
take
Photo Room,
pictures.
you can get the app on your phone.
Yeah,
It is a paid app, and my understanding is I know Maggie's using List Perfectly, and now it's a part of their package. You can use Photo Room with their List Perfectly on the computer.
yeah. But if you're selling one-ofs, uh, Photo Room is actually pretty good. If you're
Right.
selling one-ofs, I don't really know how much extra money and time you're going to have uh, benefit at using Shopify.
Right.
If you're only using it for that purpose. If you have a social media following and you get people over there to buy things, uh, yeah, then I think it's worth it. I mean, for me, it's a tool just to save me time. I mean, like, I have one item this week that I sold 600 of.
600.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
in order to keep up with buying it and packaging it and selling it, I, I really got to be up to date on what my quantities are,
gotcha.
and I have to really keep up with that because that's only one item out of 1,000 items that I sell. I don't have time that every time an item comes in, I got to go adjust it on 3 different sites.
Mike wants to know what the item was. if you want to share that.
Yeah. Vanilla marshmallows.
Vanilla marshmallows. Okay.
I have no idea why they're selling like crazy. They just are.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I got a new item in that it's not really a new item, it's an old one that next week will start taking off the same way, which are conversation hearts.
What
Those
is a
little,
conversation heart? The things that have like
those,
little print
uh,
things on?
those little chalk candies that,
Okay. Now, they have like little
yeah,
scribe things on it, words on them.
yep,
Mike said, Dave, he thought it was widgets.
yeah, yeah.
And Mike
I'll
brings a
be
little
honest with you,
frivolity into the chat.
things are going to be really hard to get. Uh, I had 17 out of stocks this week of items that I purchased. I talked to 3 manufacturers that said they don't even know if they're going to make certain items this year.
Wow. So they're having problems getting the supplies that they use to manufacture things.
Oh yeah, I got a notice 3 hours ago that the prices on the flavorings that I use to make coffee flavors are going to increase by 20% as of January 15th.
That seems to be the 20 to 30% increase in pretty much everything.
Yeah, coffee prices are at a 10-year high.
Yes.
They've more than doubled. And it's not just with coffee. I went to buy some racking for my new little warehouse that I have.
Right.
And
Racking meaning shelving.
right. Yeah, commercial shelving. And last year it was $149. This year it's $239
Wow.
a section.
That's quite a big increase. Absolutely. Okay, guys. I just wonder if there are any, while we have Randy on here, if there are any questions for Randy, and I'll just I'll do my regular closing. Like you guys know, I am not monetized on YouTube, so if you guys are getting any value from my channel, please consider helping me offset some of my expenses. Would be greatly appreciated. Just like in reselling, I have to invest in my time and purchase equipment, supplies, etc. So we had discussed Randy's printers earlier, the thermal printers. If you guys are interested in that, reach out to me. I'll put you in touch with Randy. Randy's website, also fakesies.com. We're talking about Randy's business where he sells old-fashioned candies, coffees, and spices. Again, Randy is kind enough to help me out a little bit. If you guys purchase anything from his site, when you register to purchase something, you just put AE next to your name, and Randy will know that you came from my channel, and he's kind enough to pay me a little commission at no cost to you guys, and it's greatly appreciated. So, and I also have Buy Me Coffee and Cashapp. So I had teased it earlier in the show. I'm having Art Vandelay, which is Dan. So any of you guys that watch the Three Amigos on Wednesday afternoon, Joe, Philly Flipper, Mike January House, and Dan Art Vandelay. I'm having Art Vandelay on my show next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So appreciate you if you guys show up next Wednesday, and it'll be great. Dan is kind of a quirky. He kind of any of you guys watch Seinfeld, you know George was Art Vandelay was his alter ego. So we're going to have Dan on next week, and should be an interesting show. So again, guys, I always say I want to thank you for your time. Your time is your most valuable asset. And again, Randy, I appreciate you greatly, and you taught me quite a bit, and you're always there for me when I need you. And it's very, very appreciated, greatly appreciated. So again, guys, appreciate you guys in the chat, guys watching the replay. So again, we'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks,
Good night,
guys.
everyone.
Have a great night.